never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. My tip is do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Okay, everyone, our mission is complete balanced nutrition. Together, we provide nutrients to support immune, muscle, bone, and heart health.
Yay! Ensure with 25 vitamins and minerals, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
Tomorrow, ET certified country exclusive with Ernest.
Hey, here's my home on wheels.
His life on tour with Morgan Wallen and Hardy.
The Three Amigos, Three Stooges.
Make sure you check that out. And here's one more thing before we go. Take care, y'all.
Good night.
What?
Tell her that the passengers have control of this plane.
This show is one of these really slow burn, twists and turns.
Happening now.
About 2 weeks ago, a newborn baby was left here at the front of this church on Grissom Road. I'm Courtney Friedman, and tonight we're going to tell you about the Baby Moses Law.
Hospital admissions are surging once again due to COVID-19, indicating a concerning spike in cases. Coming up next, we'll hear from health experts who walk us through the current state of COVID-19 in our community.
Several record high temperatures are in jeopardy. We're going to talk about that and let you know how hot it's going to get in just a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
It is not your typical Crime Stoppers flyer.
Today's San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers offering up to $5,000 for anyone who helps identify these two people. They are said to have left a newborn baby at a church 2 weeks ago.
Experts in the Baby Moses Law tell our Courtney Friedman the community needs more education about where a baby can be surrendered legally.
It was here at Grissom Road Church 2 weeks ago at 1 a.m. on a Monday. These two were seen leaving a basket at the back door. Inside, a one-day-old baby boy and a note.
They logistically did the right thing, but it was at the wrong place, and that right there can get someone prosecuted.
Pamela Allen is the CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy, which holds funerals for abandoned or abused babies, and also has lobbied for the Baby Moses Law in the state of Texas. The Baby Moses Law states a baby can be surrendered with no questions asked if the baby is within 60 days old, is handed off at a fire station or hospital, and is unharmed.
Unharmed means this baby's not going to come with broken bones, with bruises, drugged up. This is a baby that is unharmed, and that's very specific in the law.
Joe Arrington with the San Antonio Fire Department says the locations are specific for a reason.
Somewhere where someone is there 24 hours a day, like a fire station or a hospital, where someone with a medical training can immediately take care of that baby. So we can find out the background of what the baby needs. Was it a premature baby?
What happened 2 weeks ago, a perfect example. We went to that church today and it was closed. No one was around. And like July 17th, it was above 100 degrees outside.
The biggest takeaway from it is to educate.
Now, these safe havens are marked by these yellow signs on the building. Underneath, there's a non-emergency ring bell. Back in the building, it's very loud. We just got to hear it. And a medical professional will come outside and hand off the baby safely. But come September 1st, there is legally another option. Baby boxes that can be built into these buildings. You can open them, set a baby inside. It's temperature controlled. We'll go straight into the building with an alarm, and then a medical professional will be able to receive it within 2 minutes. There are no plans right now for timing for when those boxes will be available, but we are in talks with the San Antonio Fire Department about those plans. For now, we're live at San Antonio Fire Department number 4, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Courtney. Also worth mentioning, that baby was left outside that church for hours.
Which is why the law is needed.
Which is why the law is needed. All right, to other news now. 18 migrants inside a tractor trailer, and now San Antonio Police and Homeland Security investigating a suspected human smuggling operation.
It happened at the Valero gas station on Somerset Road near I-35 late last night. Here's what we know so far. 18 migrants from Mexico, Guadalajara, El Salvador, and Honduras found inside the sleeper cab by the San Antonio Fire Department last night around 10:30. All of the people inside were unharmed.
Police responded to and say they found 13 men and 5 women inside the cab of that truck. Right now, we don't know the ages of the people inside, nor do we know if police made any arrests at that scene. And Texas has 2 new laws to address a problem that's only grown worse in 2023, street racing takeovers. Governor Greg Abbott signing 2 new laws to address those problems a few hours ago in Fort Worth. One of those new laws gives police and prosecutors more power to crack down on those takeovers. That law goes into effect September 1st. The other law already in place allows the immediate removal and impounding of cars participating in street takeovers. San Antonio, Austin, and Fort Worth, just a few of the cities that have dealt with street takeovers this year.
San Antonio Crime Stoppers asking for your help to identify a man and a woman who are wanted for robbing a makeup supply store.
Yeah, it happened at the Black Fox Beauty Supply on Calabria Road last Wednesday. Take a good look at your screen. Investigators say when the cashier tried to stop the woman from leaving with stolen items in her purse, the male suspect she was with hit the cashier in the face to stop her.
The pair left the scene in a blue car with rear end damage. If you know anything about this incident, you can call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-7867 immediately. That number is posted on the screen.
A man fighting for his life in the hospital after he was shot inside his truck. It happened just after 6:30 this morning in the 5200 block of Blanco Road. Police say a man and his passenger sitting inside the truck in a parking lot when a man came up to the vehicle and demanded their wallets at gunpoint. The victims handed over those wallets and the suspect shot them anyway. The driver hit in the stomach, shot back at the suspect, but that suspect got away. At last check, he is in critical condition.
A lot of questions about this one. A 37-year-old man in the hospital, his wife detained by police after shots were fired here inside their home early this morning. When officers got to that home in the 14,000 block of Rocky Pine Wood Street in the woods of Chavano neighborhood, they found the man shot in the stomach. He was rushed to a nearby hospital. Meanwhile, the woman taken in for questioning. The couple have 4 children. None of them were hurt, and now they are with Child Protective Services. Police have not said what led to those shots fired, and they say the husband and wife are not cooperating.
The Centers for Disease Control reporting that in the past week alone, hospitals have seen a significant increase in patients due to COVID-19. Our Jonathan Cotto walks us through the current state of COVID-19 in our community as health experts keep a close eye on the concerning spike in cases.
The Centers for Disease Control reports a 12.1% spike in hospital admissions nationally due to COVID-19 in the past week.
So I would imagine that San Antonio is experiencing a similar increase in cases.
The city's COVID-19 surveillance dashboard updated today, showing an increase of 916 cases this past week, bringing the total of reported COVID cases over the past 3 years to over 700,000. Dr. Fred Campbell says COVID-19 is here to stay, but at least not at the levels seen during the height of the pandemic.
Unless, of course, some sort of mutation occurs that would cause a new strain to become resistant to our current efforts at vaccination.
A new variant has not been detected.
To my knowledge, there have not been any new strains since the ones we were reporting approximately a year ago. And those have been sensitive to the vaccines and vaccine boosters that we've been giving patients in the community and around the country.
He says herd immunity has been established with previous vaccinations and boosters causing infections to drop. But at the moment, there are no known efforts to push new or additional boosters.
Although that's always a possibility in the future if we discover that, for instance, this uptick is related to a resistant strain.
And because the COVID-19 virus has been observed to behave similarly to that of the flu, health experts anticipate an uptick in COVID-19 cases as well as the usual rise in influenza to occur in the fall and early winter. Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Can you believe it? The first day of school getting closer by the minute. Several school districts doing everything they can to make sure students and their families start the school year off right.
And starting in just a few minutes, District 3 welcoming back students and their parents for a back-to-school supply giveaway. It's at Southside High School. It starts at 5:30. It's going to last until 7:30. And those supplies are limited.
Now, if you miss out, don't worry. There'll be another school giveaway at the Brooks Back to School event on Sunday, August 13th. Now, if you're interested in other school supply giveaways, we got you covered. There's an article on our website right now with a list of every district in the area that's participating in one.
The gunman who shot and killed 11 people inside a Pittsburgh synagogue back in 2018 will be sentenced to death. 50-year-old Robert Bowers stormed the Tree of Life synagogue in the heart of Pittsburgh's Jewish community back in 2018. It is the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Bowers spewed anti-Semitic and white supremacist beliefs on the internet before he then carried out this horrible massacre. Now a judge will formally impose the sentence that the federal jury handed down just a few hours ago.
There is growing reaction to former President Donald Trump's third indictment. He faces 4 federal criminal counts in the special counsel's probe into alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election and Trump's actions on January 6, 2021. Democrats in D.C. say these are the most serious charges Trump has faced yet. Many Republicans slamming the indictment as a political attack from a weaponized Department of Justice. Justin Finch breaks down both sides from Washington.
Special Counsel Jack Smith indicting former President Donald Trump again.
The indictment was issued by a grand jury of citizens here in the District of Columbia, and it sets forth the crimes charged in detail.
Trump already pleaded not guilty in response to Smith's indictment in the Mar-a-Lago classified records probe in June. Now Trump is facing 4 new felony counts in Smith's investigation into an alleged scheme by Trump and co-conspirators to keep him in the White House, even though they knew he lost the election to Joe Biden. The indictment also accusing Trump of creating fake electors in 7 states, trying to compel the Justice Department to hold sham election crime investigations, pressuring Vice President Pence to reject legitimate electoral votes, and ultimately sending his supporters to the Capitol to obstruct the certification proceeding and exert pressure on the vice president. Congressman Jamie Raskin served on the committee that investigated the Capitol attack.
This does feel like a huge vindication of the rule of law and the work of the January 6th committee to establish the factual narrative of what took place in the attempt to overthrow a presidential election by a president.
Across the aisle, Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is denouncing this latest indictment as an attack on Trump, whom he calls the Republican presidential frontrunner. Trump's nearest opponent, Ron DeSantis, appearing to agree on Fox.
A D.C. jury would indict a ham sandwich and convict a ham sandwich if it was a Republican ham sandwich.
Trump has long denied any wrongdoing. He's now set for arraignment tomorrow in D.C. District Court. ABC News has learned he will not be handcuffed and will not have a mugshot taken, but will have his fingerprints taken digitally. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a traffic trouble spot you need to be aware of if you headed over to Highway 90 West at Zarzamora. You can see there's a car that's pulled over. It may have stalled. They've had to block off that far right lane. There's an emergency vehicle behind. It doesn't look like a wreck. It actually just looks like a car that got stopped right there in the middle of the lane. In any event, there's a backup.
So far today, our high temperature clocked in at 101 degrees. I'd suspect that rises a degree, maybe even 2, once we get the official climate summary right before the 6 o'clock newscast. The average high, by the way, 97. Obviously, we've been running above that for several weeks now. The record high, 103. Record challenging heat definitely in the forecast. We'll take a look at what records are going to fall in just a bit. Officially at the airport right now, 101. Eagle Pass, 102. 105 Floresville. Mico, 103. Talk more about the heat, records that will fall, and an update on the tropics in just a bit.
Rough temperatures. Thank you, Adam. Still ahead on the news at 5. What to buy in August? The school year almost here. How you can save a few bucks and what to spend your money on to send your kid back to class.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Her son disappeared, and then his body was found burned inside of a stolen car. And now a second arrest in this case. Today at 6, the new developments in this murder investigation and a mother's unwavering pursuit of justice. Plus, KSAT investigates sweltering temperatures inside Texas prisons that don't have air conditioning. Just how hot it is inside and what lawmakers are not doing to change that. And
A 2017 bond project now on the verge of getting going. We talked to you about the rejuvenation of Brackenridge Park and the concerns some still have.
All that and more today on the news at 6. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Myra. As the calendar turns to August, the end of summer sales are heating up. So where are those big discounts?
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moore shows us the savings on back-to-school tech and back-to-football tailgates.
August is all about hot sales on heading back to class.
This month, you can expect back-to-school sales on tech items like computers, tablets, and printers.
Samantha Gordon helps track prices on Consumer Reports' top tested products to determine the best time to buy. And right now, this Apple MacBook Air 13-inch laptop is $750 at Amazon and Best Buy. That's $250 off and the lowest price they've seen on this one. Need to print the homework? You can skip the ink refills and go with a laser printer. This HP LaserJet is discounted to $89 at Amazon and Walmart. This model only prints in black and white but does a good job on low-cost printing. College students can cook their ramen noodles in this budget-friendly commercial chef microwave. It's about $76 at JCPenney, less than half price.
The end of August also signals early Labor Day sales, where you can find deals geared towards seasonal items like grills as well as vacuums.
You can already score a deal for those tailgates. This portable grill from Coleman, $229 at Walmart. That's $61 saved. But take a look. I just did another quick check and found that same grill at Bass Pro Shops marked down to even less. Finally, be on the lookout for deals on vacuums. This Hoover Stick Vac is $185 at Amazon. That's $95 off. Serious cleaning up. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, I know Adam Caskey is like a grill master, but when it's 102 degrees outside, it's hard to think about standing over an open flame.
No, all Adam's thinking about is grabbing a bottle of pickle juice out of the refrigerator right now.
I like to, before I work outside, pre-hydrate and get some of those electrolytes in me. And I like to have a pickle to do that. It gets that salt in you that you're going to be losing. Anyway, speaking of heat, look at our high temperature trend going forward. 103 tomorrow, 104 by Friday into the weekend. And we even think we'll get up to 105 early next week, Monday and Tuesday. Of the next 7 days, 5 should tie or break the record high temperatures. Here's our overall weather pattern. We don't have that little ripple in the upper level flow to kickstart a few showers east of town like we did yesterday afternoon. And the upper level heat high, it was over Oklahoma yesterday at this time. It's drifted eastward a bit. And this is actually a good thing for the desert Southwest. This is the time of year the western U.S. gets their moisture. It's monsoon season. And when the high's over us, that helps pull in some of that Pacific moisture into the desert Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, and basically all the Four Corners states in general. And that's why you see all this activity there up and down the Rocky Mountains and west and northwest of Texas. And even West Texas gets in on some of that action. That will be cut off as the heat high transitions westward over Arizona and New Mexico and even northern Mexico. That's where it's going to be centered. And that puts us in this northerly flow aloft. If we could get any little disturbances, they could be steered our direction. But right now we really don't see any disturbances heading our way. You know, there is a slight chance for a cold front to make it into North Texas. A not as hot front. A not as hot front to make it into North Texas by the middle to end of next week, but it's no slam dunk and it wouldn't affect us. Chance of development in the tropics. There's no tropical moisture out there for us. Even this system, just a 10% chance of development near Bermuda. Hurricane Dora is in the Pacific, moving away from North America. That's headed westward. And then we have a 70% chance of development just south of Mexico here in the Pacific, and that moisture could travel northward to the Baja Peninsula, but no indication that we could get any of it yet. Here, 101, dew point is 61, so it just feels like it's 1 degree warmer than the air temp. 98 in Midland, 106 though in Dallas. You get closer to the center of that heat high, even Shreveport 104, Austin 104, Laredo 105. Around town here, mostly in the low 100s, but Bulverde 104. 99 at 8 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, we get down to 93, so still in the 90s. several hours after sunset, and by midnight, we're getting into the upper 80s with increasing humidity as well. 79 at 7 a.m., 103 by the afternoon, with a lot of sunshine in store. And again, 5 of the next 7 days are going to be record challenging in terms of our high temperature.
Hurts just to look at it. Thank you, Adam.
All right, San Antonio Spur in trouble, finds out what his penalty will be.
Yeah, so Devontae Graham already pleaded guilty to a 2022 DWI charge. We knew he was going to be suspended. We didn't know for how long. Today we found out. Plus, our BGC preview today takes us to Lavernia coming up. Spurs guard Devontae Graham has been suspended for 2 games without pay for pleading guilty to a charge of impaired driving in the state of North Carolina, the NBA announced today. Graham's suspension will commence with the next NBA regular season game that he is eligible and able to play. The incident happened in July 2022 when he was with the Pelicans. Graham was traded to the Spurs in February.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys running back Ronald Jones will miss the first 2 games of the 2022 regular season after the running back was suspended by the NFL due to violation of the league's policy on performance-enhancing substances. Back in March, he signed with the boys, and he was really looking forward to contributing. After practice in Oxnard, he talked about what happened.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, it's something that I've been prescribed, over the last course of my career. There wasn't any steroids, anything to enhance my game. It was a medicine prescribed by a doctor that, I wasn't aware of, and obviously test came back bad. So, I'm responsible for whatever I put in my body, just make sure, it's not going to happen again. Yeah, it is disappointing. It was obviously before I signed here, it happened back last season. After the season, there wasn't even any games left. So, just confused how it came about, but I just wanted to clear my name in terms of, I'm not cheating the game of football. It's literally a prescription medicine.
Jones also said clearly he's not using steroids because he's one of the skinniest guys on the team. It was 6 in the morning when we stopped by Lavernia High School to talk with the Bears as we continue our big game coverage previews, practicing under the lights. The Bears are 9-3 overall last season, 5-0 in district, reaching the second round of the playoffs. They have 14 starters coming back, 7 players on each side of the ball. Dave Campbell's Texas Football predicts that Lavernia will win the District 15 4A Division I crown. As for that 6 a.m. practice, it's all good.
Yeah, it is. It's nice getting out here early. We get done, we practice 6 to 8, we get done early, not when it's 105 degrees outside. It feels nice, and I'm excited to get to work.
I think these early morning practices, I think they're great because you get practice over, you literally have a full day to do, relax or do whatever you need to do.
Lavernia will open the regular season Friday, August 25th at home with Burnett at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, 6 to 8. You got the rest of the day to, nap.
Photog Mark Mendez had the rest of the day, too, out there at 6. But then I sent him to other schools, so really he kept working.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Mark working?
Mark doesn't need downtime.
We'll be right back.
The heat continues. Will be 103 tomorrow here in San Antonio. Then tack on another degree or 2 into the weekend and early next week. You look at the records on the top of the screen, and it looks like 5 of the next 7 should be tied or broken.
Lovely. Thank you, Adam. We'll get through it.
See you back here at 6. World News is next.